So real quick, let's go through some of these problems. Company issues a 5-year note, 25,000, 4% interest. So the present value of the principal is $20,548. Okay, the principal value, present value of the principal, assuming if it's 4%, it's 20,548. Assuming it's 5% for 4 years. Well, they said that it's 5 years, so then it would be 20,548. Okay. Equipment exchange for a note payment of 20,000 made in 1 year. Market rate 5%. Assuming that 5% is appropriate, that means the principal at the present value is $19,048. Assume that semi-annual interest. Present value of that principal is $19,274. So you're gonna probably assume that it's an annual. It's not. No, it's 20,000. As this is a 1-year non-interest bearing note, it is not required to discount this even though the note is non-interest bearing. So if it's non-interest bearing, so that's the difference between non-interest and zero interest, I suppose. That's something important to note. If it's non-interest bearing, then the present value of the principal is 20,000. So you're going to calculate the discount or the present value. Company A sells land to Company B for 100,000. Company A takes a note from Company B that is due in 2 years. Okay. Assuming an annual interest rate of 5% is appropriate, the implied annual interest is 100,000 times 5%. What amount should Company A report for the sale? Most likely, it's going to be the implied interest, the present value of the note. $90,703. Company A sells a parcel of land to Company B in exchange for a note for NR. The term of the note requires Company B to make a single payment of $600,000 in 2 years using a 10% interest rate. The implied annual interest is 600,000 times 10%, 60,000, and the present value of the note. What amount should Company A consider as proceeds? So they're going to probably consider the present value of the note itself. Okay. So a company performs services for a customer in exchange for a non-interest bearing note, right? So then they really make a payment of 100,000 for years using a 5% interest. So then if it's non-bearing, the amount should record as service revenue. So if it's non-interest bearing, you would record it at whatever it's going to be, like the future value of it. So that would be 100,000. That's correct. And I believe it's 100,000, which is incorrect. So a customer signs a non-interest bearing note. So promise to pay 11,664. So if it's not interest bearing, it should be recorded at the future value. So $11,664. So soon. Okay. So non-interest bearing exchange As this is a 1-year non-interest bearing note. So an asset acquired in exchange for a non-interest bearing note. So if it's just an asset, I suppose that's just like a. So like the thing about these is that a lot of these have like these little exceptions that are like important to know. So it appears that if it's exchanging a note for an asset, then it's going to be at the future value. But if it's for a note, whether or not it's a non-interest bearing note or not, if it's an exchange for service or for cash, a payment, it'll be at the present value. There's a lot here, so I'm going to stop it out with that exception.